welcome to the second part of today's event. Once a devotee asked Swami Shivanandaji that it was Swami Vivekananda who started Ramakrishna order. Mahapurush Maharaj corrected him and told, actually this order is started by Sri Ramakrishna himself. In the modern age, the movement for the spiritual upliftment of mankind, and also just like any other incarnations in past, to boost the spiritual aspect of our life, Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother and Swamiji came. There is a great importance and significance of Guru Shishya Parampara, or the lineage, and it is very strong. It is not the physical son or a daughter gets importance, but it is a spiritual son and spiritual daughters get importance in spiritual life. After the advent of Sri Ramakrishna, through Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, Sarada Devi and his disciples, not only monastic disciples, also lay disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, they all started this movement initiated by Sri Ramakrishna, which is not a new religion, but it is same Sanatana Dharma, or same universal religion. Teachings of Sri Ramakrishna, Mother and Swamiji not only boosted the spiritual fervor of Hindus. Just now in this PowerPoint which we will be seeing, this I forwarded to some devotees. One of the devotees, when I was in Argentina, he told me, we all are born Christians, born Catholics, but it is after coming in contact with this order, I learned how to love Jesus Christ. So the spiritual life is uplifted by this Guru Shishya Parampara. Sometimes we shall discuss in details when doing some spiritual retreat or something. When Swamiji established the organization called Ramakrishna Mutt and Ramakrishna Mission, Swamiji himself was the first general president. For a very short time, I think that was probably for the registration purpose and all that. But he declared Swami Brahmanji as the first president of the order. Today's meeting is about Swami Smaranananda. Smaranananda was initiated by Swami Shankaranji, who was initiated by Swami Brahmananda. So from Brahmanji as the first president till Swami Smaranananda as the 16th president, this parampara will go on. This is another concept for the people who are initiated in our order. This is also we discussed and showed to the devotees, and those who saw it were very inspired by that. Whichever guru you are initiated by in our order, as all of them say during initiation, that Sri Ramakrishna is the guru, and we receive initiation from the Swamijis who are there in our time. See, from generation point of view, if someone is initiated by Swami Smaranananda, it is only 3 generations that they reach Sri Ramakrishna. Shankaranandaji, Brahmanandaji and Sri Ramakrishna. So like this, if you consider lineage, we are not very far from the origin of this order, and that makes us not only happy but a kind of spiritual confidence that in spite of all our shortcomings, we are selected by them, we are blessed by them, that it is their grace that we came closer to this movement and the spiritual ideal. It was 26th of last month that Swami Smaranananda attended Mahasamadhi. He passed away. A sannyasi guru, a guru who is a monk, he has already done his own Shraddha when he took sannyasa. So there is no warning or shokasabha in the name of the monks. I remember when Swami passed away, so cremation was going on in the Revered, and 1 or 2 members of his Purvashrama, his elder brother's son or someone had come, and he took special permission to witness this cremation. And in his astonishment, he later on said that I was wondered, no Swami is crying, no Swami is sad, but everybody is happy in singing bhajans, etc. Not that they are not aware about what death is all about, not that they are insensitive, that they do not feel the loss of a loved one, or in our case, revered ones and respected ones. But the philosophy doesn't say that. Think of Swami Smaranananda who joined the order in 1950. So 73 years of long spiritual life. There cannot be anything more blessed than that. We'll see in his life some stories, some incidents which will come. So, sometimes the devotees ask, oh, my guru just passed away, what Vidhi Nisheda, what the restrictions I have to follow? If you want to, you can. But there is no prescription given as it is given in the social or worldly life. That you have to, for 13 days or 15 days or 16 days, you cannot do this or you should do this. There is no rule for the sannyasi guru. Because he has shown the path, which is much above, much higher than all the restrictions and limitations and rituals to follow. But according to one's own satisfaction, devotees do it. So today is a day which generally about 13 days our headquarters will announce the day And all over the world, all of our centers at this point of time are doing the puja and bhajans and in the memory of the great Swamiji, discuss about his life, his connections with us. Many of us personally have came in contact with him. In my case, for 1 year, he was our acharya, he was our teacher, he has taken Jnana classes for us. So, everybody in the order is connected with one who is the president of the order. I will tell a small incident and then we start with our program. Swami Achalananda ji came to Swami Vivekananda. Since Swami Vivekananda was his guru, he brought some flowers and offered at the feet of Swamiji. After that, Swamiji told, go and bring some more flowers. He brought. Swami Brahmanji was sitting, offered at the feet of Swami Brahmananda. Swami Achalananda did that. Then Swamiji told, never find any difference between your own guru and the Sangha guru. They are all identical. So this bhava or this philosophy comes, so whomsoever we are initiated by is not important. It is something, as Sri Ramakrishna says, the water is accumulated on the roof. It comes out from different channels. And earlier old houses you will find a cow's mouth and a lion's mouth or tiger's mouth, and the water will come from there. Children will say, oh, this water is from the cow's mouth and this water is from the lion's mouth. The truth is that all water is coming from the same roof. In the same way, we may receive blessings and mantra or the grace of gurus from any one of them whom our Sangha chooses to, but actually it's come from the same source, that is Ramakrishna. We shall commence with today's program. First we shall have bhajans and then we shall follow the other programs. Swami Sampurjananda will present bhajans. All of you can sing together. You have a paper with you. earlier sometimes in few years before, in one of the events, Maharaj speaks about Sri Ramakrishna and his movement. It's a short video. We shall present it now for your hearing and watching.
परम पूजनीय स्वामी आत्मस्थानंद जी महाराज रामकृष्ण मठ एवं रामकृष्ण मिशन परमाध्यक्ष को ताकि हमारा प्रणाम जानाए एवं हमारा गुरु भाई राम या सुंदर भाषण दिले एवं अन्य सन्यासी ब्रह्मचारी वृंदो हमारा एवं समवेत भक्त मंडली हमारे कई बोल रहे हैं अंग्रेजी से बोलते हैं कई बोल रहे हैं बांग्ला से बोलते हैं शेषा मीटिंग कोल्लम इंग्रेजी का हम लोग को तुम बांग्ला जी शेष को ये आपको एक प्रेरित so हमारा so we heard some very interesting speeches throwing a light upon various aspects of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna's life and teachings. I was reminded of what Swamiji said on his return to India in his Calcutta speech. He says, I would like to read it out to you. If this nation wants to take my word from it, if this nation wants to rise, take my word from it, it will have to rally enthusiastically around this Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's name. It does not matter who preaches Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, whether I or you or anybody else. Krishna is placed before you, and it is for you to judge. And for the good of our race, for the good of our nation, to judge now what you shall do his great idea of life. One thing we have to remember, that is one of the fullest of all lives that we have ever seen, or let me tell you distinctly, that we have ever read out. And before you is the fact that it is the more marvelous manifestation of power that you can read of or much less expect to see. So Sri Ramakrishna's life is so extraordinary that it gets an important place in the history of the world, not only in India but in the whole world. 175 years of his sojourn. Even now, so many books are being written on him, not only in India but abroad, because he throws light on the divine aspect of life. Most people, they carry on their humdrum lives in this world, we see no other idea placed before them. But it is Ramakrishna who comes, those who read him, read his life, read his message, they all find that there is something extraordinary. You may say that, oh, it's in ancient times, we have followed this religion or that religion. So what is new about it? As it was pointed out just now, his life, his experience, everything was based on his actual experiences. Not reading the Shastras, not hearing even from others, but he practiced every one of those religions which he accepted as true paths to reach the goal through divine life. Why is it necessary? So here, Swami emphatically says, this is a life, if you want this nation to rise, if you want this nation to show the path to the rest of the world, then you have to accept him, accept Sri Ramakrishna. So, what are those principles which Sri Ramakrishna preached? He lived that simple life at Dakshineshwar, but if you carefully analyze his life, you will find there are some special aspects in his life. First of all, I would say that it is rational. Why rational? Because he accepts everything according to his experience, spiritual experience, not simply in the words of somebody. There is no even Swamiji as a student went to him and asked him, "Sir, have you seen God?" Earlier he went to various other people, but he got only negative answers. But then, only place where he got the positive answer was from Sri Ramakrishna. He said, "Yes, I have seen God, and I can show him to you also." So that started a new way of life for Swami. For the first time he had heard that God could be seen, and here is a man who has seen God, who has experienced God. It is not seeing through the eyes, it is an experience. Just now it was said that Atman, the Atman, Navare Patu Kamaya Pati Priya Bhavati, Atmanastu Kamaya Pati Priya Bhavati. The husband becomes dear to the wife, not because he is the husband, but because there is the Atman. So what is this Atman which you don't see? But you can experience this Atman and know what you yourself are. The basic question comes up, and what we are. Are we the body? Are we the mind? Are we the buddhi? Whatever else. So none of these, they are all outer coverings only. The innermost self, what the scriptures call the Atman. This Atma-jnana is the goal of Vedanta. This Atma-jnana is interpreted in various ways according to various paths of religion. So this Ramakrishna had experienced from different points of view, following different paths. This is something entirely new in the world's history. Because, particularly in Europe in the 18th century, the Europeans thought that it is not necessary to follow any religion. We can throw them overboard. We don't need any God or religion. But even after 100 years, after 200 years, after this kind of thought gained prominence, even after a long time, even today the question is being asked. There was an interesting book by scientists, why God does not go away. So God does not go away because it is true. And the truth shall make you free, as Jesus says. Seek ye the God, Lord, and the truth will make you free. So the free is what is called the moksha, that was quoted just now. The moksha, kapala mochana. That means avatara has the ability, has the power to wipe out the earlier vasanas or karma, but not the current ones. So therefore, the life is, because based on experience, his life is rational, and it is possible to practice it, even for householders, even for ordinary people. For them also it is possible to practice it. He himself said that the coins of the Mughal times cannot be valid during the East India Company's regime. And now we have come further, we are living in independent India, and the coins of that time will not be applicable here, suitable here. Similarly, the various kinds of sadhanas, the rituals, homa, etc., which was going on in India for a long time. They were, Sri Ramakrishna said it is not necessary. Because now you take the name of the Lord, sing the glories of the Lord, there is enough. So, for the modern man, he has made the spiritual life very easy. And then the religion preached by him is universal. It can be applicable anywhere. And then this humanistic aspect is there, which is very important for a modern man. Modern people give importance to the humanistic aspect. So many human things are going on also at the other end. But he humanistic. So some of these points would be going, there is no time to explain. And my throat also is in trouble. So, Sri Ramakrishna came especially for the modern age. Following him, we can make India great and help the whole world. हमरा बेटी समय नहीं तब तो स्वामी जी पश्चात्तरकरण फिरे एलेन तখন स्वामी जी বললেন এই গ্রেট আইডিয়াল অফ লাইফ এই আদর্শ কি ভগবান লাভই মনুষ্য জীবনের উদ্দেশ্য ওটাই গন্তব্যস্থল জন্ম কর্ম ছবি দিব্যম Smaranananda quoted from the Gita. Avatar's life is divine. Through the power of the divine, he brings welfare to the whole world. जन्म कर्म समय जीवन जीवन का जानता है सार्वजनिक गुणों के ग्रहण करते हैं हजम करते हैं এবং আমাদের জীবনটাকে ঠিক ব্রাহ্মণ কি করে কি করবে। আমি যে তারা ভাবলেন যে সাধারণ জীবন সাধু জীবন যাপন করলেই যথেষ্ট। সাধু জীবন এসে বললেন না এইসব এইসব করতে হবে, ভারতে উন্নতি সাধন করতে হবে ইত্যাদি ইত্যাদি। প্রথম তার গুরুবাইরা কেউ আপত্তি করে দিল, ওটা তো আমাদের গুরুদেবের ইয়ে নয়, উপদেশ নয়। আমি যে বললেন তোমরা কতটুকু জানো ঠাকুর, এই জন্য স্বামীজি জানতেন। এই জন্য সুরজ্ঞান এই যুব সেবা ঠাকুরের সেই কথাটাকে কার্যকরী করলেন, এগুলো করছেন। এখনো ওই ধারণাটা চারিদিকে ছড়িয়ে পড়ছে, কোনো একটা জায়গা থেকে ধরে নিয়ে এগিয়ে যাওয়ার চেষ্টা করতে হবে। আর ওইসব কারণে আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি যে স্বামীজির ঠাকুরের বাণী, তার সাধন পদ্ধতি ইত্যাদি ইত্যাদি সবকিছু আধুনিক মানুষের জন্য এবং आधुनिक ज्यादा वैल्यूज ऑफ लाइफ, ज्यादा मूल्य को जीवन वैसा ठाकुर जीवन तक ही हमारा प्रभु उनके पिता एक स्पिरिचुअल बेसिस आध्यात्मिक दुनिया तक आध्यात्मिक तक वृत्ति तक से वृत्ति से गाड़िया मदद के जीवन के आध्यात्मिक पसंद की जाते पारी तार चेष्टा करता है। আর এবারে এই বেলুন মঠে 175 বছরের যে পরে এখন বেলুন মঠে দেখছি, যখন আরম্ভ হলো বারানগর মঠে কেউ কিছু জানত না, কেউ ছিল কিছুই ছিল। আজকে এত বড় কনফারেন্স এখানে হচ্ছে, এবং অন্যান্য জায়গায় ভারতবর্ষ দেশেও এই 175তম সেলিব্রেশন হচ্ছে চারিদিকে, এইভাবে মানুষের কাছে পৌঁছে দেওয়া হচ্ছে উৎসবের মাধ্যমে, বই টইর মাধ্যমে। আর আমরা এই পুণ্যস্থলে এই পুণ্যতীর্থে বিভিন্ন পূর্বতীর্থ, যেখানে স্বামীজি তার দেহ রাখলেন বা এবং অন্যান্য সকলে অনেকে সকলে সন্তানরা সকলে অনেকেই এখানে থেকে এখানেই তাদের মহাসমাধি লাভ করেছে। তাই আজকে এই শুভ দিনে আমরা এখানে সংগ্রহিত হয়েছি এবং এই উৎসব এখনো আরো 3 দিন চলবে। আজকে ঠাকুরের আসলে জন্মতিথি, তিথি পুজো, এগুলো পাবলিক উৎসব আছে রবিবারে। সবটা মিলিয়ে একটা মানুষকে উদ্যোগামী করা আধ্যাত্মিক পথে, সেই আশীর্বাদ আমরা পরম পূজনীয় প্রেসিডেন্ট মহারাজের কাছে পেয়েছি। ওনার আশীর্বাদের মাধ্যমে আমিও এই আজকে এই পবিত্র সন্ধ্যায় এই পবিত্র তীর্থস্থানে শ্রী ঠাকুরের একটু অনুজ্ঞান করলাম, যে আরো সুন্দর ভাষণ সব শুনলেন। আমি শ্রী ঠাকুর, শ্রী মা, স্বামীজি তাদের কাছে প্রার্থনা জানাই, সকলের হয়ে প্রার্থনা জানাই, নিজের এবং সকলের জন্য। তারা আমাদেরকে যে আধ্যাত্মিক পথে এগিয়ে নিয়ে যান, আমাদের দিশারি আমাদের এগিয়ে নিয়ে যান, দেখিয়ে আমাদের পথ দেখিয়ে দেন, ওই প্রার্থনা করব। এবং ওম নিরঞ্জনম নিত্যমানন্তরূপম ভদ্রানুকম পাত্রগ্রহম বৈ ঈশাবতারম পরমেশ নিত্যম তম রামকৃষ্ণম চরসা নমামি।
request Swami Shraddhanjali to read from one of the books of Swami Smaranananda. His articles and some memoirs are there in the book. Maharaj will read a small part of that.
I am reading from this book, Musing of a Monk, collection of Swamiji's writings, maybe lectures on India. This article appeared in the Prabhupada Bharata, January 2008. Before starting, I had the blessed opportunity to mix with Revered Smaranananda since my joining in 1976. Actually, why I am here, that also, Smaranananda is instrumental. When he was the General Secretary, there was a function in Revered. At that time, I was in Advaita Ashram. Then suddenly, I was called to his office. Then he told me, Martha, my, what you call that name is Martha. Are you ready to go to Singapore? This was a very sudden news. Then he told this. Then my posting was finalized. That's why I'm here for the last more than 26 years. Then, in between, I had some, he was a very approachable Swami. See, some of the Swamis, especially if they occupy the presidentship or vice president or general secretary, assistant general secretary, very difficult to approach. But Smaranananda was very friendly, very approachable, and then, because many of you do not know, he is a man of action. There is an organization called the Akhil Bharatiya Vivekananda Yuva Mahamandal, All India Vivekananda Youth Organization. He was instrumental to establish this organization. And then they have been working very hard. At the same time, he traveled wide. He was an expert, not mountain climbing, but trekking, Himalayas. He was in Advaita Ashram in Himalaya, and he used to walk around, even searching the source of water in Himalayas. It is very difficult to get water. So he went, he covered a lot of places. At the same time, he loved visiting the mountains. And just when he was a vice president, our Japanese center invited him for some function. I think Vivekananda's birthday anniversary or something. So I was invited to look after him, maybe to take him around Japan. So I had a chance So now I will start. This is a short article entitled Spirituality in Daily Life. One who has discovered one's innermost reality and identifies oneself with all that exists is called a sthita prajna. In chapter 2 of the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord tells Arjuna how such a person behaves, how he talks, how he sits and moves around. The Gita describes also the behavior of a true bhakta, or devotee, in chapter 12, and the characteristics of a person who has transcended the three gunas in chapter 14. The people referred to in these contexts are extraordinary spiritual personalities who have crossed the ocean of samsara, our relative existence, and whose very sojourn on earth is a blessing to all. One's lineage is made pure, one's mother made blessed, and mother earth rendered sacred by one whose mind is merged in Brahman, the shoreless ocean of consciousness and bliss. Here we will deal not with such persons who have reached the highest point in spiritual life, but with sincere spiritual aspirants whose lives in the midst of society reflect the spiritual awakening in their hearts. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. As the proverb says, what are the external signs of a God-realized soul? Or rather, how does a sadhaka, one who is spreading the spiritual path, behave? How is spirituality reflected in a common person whose life is circumscribed by the social conditions around him or her? What about the monks who have dedicated their lives to the highest spiritual ideal? Men and women dedicated to spiritual values develop the ability to withstand even terrible tragedies in their lives. For example, I may mention one such incident which I have the opportunity to see personally. A lady devotee in Kolkata suddenly lost her son, a brilliant student, preparing for his senior Cambridge present class 12 examinations in a drowning accident. The lady is very much devoted to Sri Ramakrishna and Sri Sarada Devi. Even then, when I heard about it, I felt that she would be devastated and went personally to her house to offer some consolation. But to our surprise, instead of being consoled by us, the lady tried to console us, saying, "The Lord gave, and the Lord took him away. What is the use of sorrowing?" This attitude was possible for her only because of her deep faith in and devotion to the divine personalities. Spirituality helps to develop detachment of worldly matters and creates a sense of renunciation. I may mention the case of Dr. Jitendra, an unassuming bachelor whom I knew in the late 1950s. He was a man of strong opinions, but with all that, he had a soft heart and felt for the poor. He would go to treat patients in Kolkata, but would give the fees he received to one of our girls' schools in rural Bengal, and would have receipts issued to his patients in the name of the usher, as if their payments were actually donations. In this way, he donated more than 100,000 rupees for the said institution, which would be worth 10 times the amount today. Now, I come to some of our Swamis who were not well known, but who, by their simple and loving nature, were loved and respected by all who came into contact with them. One such was Swami Shraddhanjali, 1894 to 1975, more well known as Dwarka Maharaj. He lived most of his monastic life at Revered. He was a disciple of Maharaj Maharaj, Swami Shivananda, second president of the Ramakrishna order, who lived upstairs in the old Mark building where Swami Vivekananda spent his last days. In the courtyard below stands the mango tree, which was there during Swami Vivekananda's time as well. There is also a jackfruit tree and some other plants there. Dwarka Maharaj had been told by his guru to see that the courtyard was kept clean and that leaves from the tree did not litter the place. Dwarka Maharaj had read about Shabari, who lived an ascetic life in the forest. She had heard that Sri Rama would pass by her armpit, and she waited and waited for months and years to have the darshan of Sri Rama. She was waiting honestly to hear his footsteps. At last he came, and Shabari's dream was fulfilled. Similarly, Dwarka Maharaj was always watchful to see that leaves did not litter the courtyard. As soon as a leaf fell, he would rush forward to remove it. Thus, his whole mind was given to his guru, Maharaj Maharaj. I have seen him reciting those verses that deal with the episode of Shabari from the Ramayana in Bengali poetry, tears pouring down from his eyes. In his room was a picture of old Shabari, which someone had got for him. He was a great example of how an ordinary act can also become a practical spiritual action. One more example, Swami Muktananda, known as Bombaba or Bombihari Maharaj. Bombihari Maharaj spent all his monastic life at the Ramakrishna Mission, home of service, Varanasi. All his life he worked in the surgical department of the Seva Ashram, bandaging the wounds, surgical and otherwise, of the innumerable patients who came to the hospital for treatment. With the greatest dedication, he worked day after day for years together. His was really worship of the Rogi Narayana, God in the form of the patient. He was full of love for all, with a sweet smile. He worked tirelessly at any time of the day as a true karma yogi. Bombaba's loving and compassionate heart endeared him to one and all. For 60 years, he carried on his service to the patients. People, even senior surgeons, believed that a patient would be cured if Bombihari Maharaj would but take up the dressing of the wounds and the care of the post-operative period. Invariably, it came true. He passed away in 1996 at the old age of 93. Bombaba's life is a testimony to all those aspiring to live a spiritual life in the midst of intense activity. There are many examples of Swamis who had lived exemplary lives, but it is not possible to describe all these lives here. Now, let us look at a grand example from the Catholic Christian tradition of one who, in the midst of multifarious chores in the kitchen of a monastery in 17th century France, maintained the constant awareness of God's presence. His name was Brother Lawrence, 1614 to 1691. And what we know about him is from a small book entitled The Practice of the Presence of God. His conversion at 18 was the result of the mere sight of a midwinter day of a dry and leafless tree standing gone against the snow. It stirred a deep thought within him of the change the coming spring would bring. From the moment on he grew and waxed strong in the knowledge and love and faith of God, endeavoring constantly, as he put it, to walk as in his presence. Thus, Brother Lawrence, in the midst of his heavy duties in the monastery, invoked the presence of God all the time. He said that we should establish ourselves in the sense of God's presence by continually conversing with Him. The Lord says in the Gita, chapter 8, verse 7, Mam anusmara yudhyacha, remember me and find. So, to make our life fully focused on God, continual effort to keep our mind on God is necessary. This method of remembering Him will make us progress spiritually without disturbing our day-to-day activities in whichever vocation we may be engaged. Thus, spirituality need not be confined to forests and caves. As Swami Vivekananda said, it should enter the marketplace and the field and the factory. When all activities are infused with the leaven of spirituality, a silent revolution will come about. The real Satya Yuga will begin. For this continuous effort in this direction to focus one's life on God and give it a spiritual orientation is highly necessary. Om Niranjan Nityam Antarutam Bhakta Vigraham Vai Isha Vasaram Paramesha Nityam Anam Krishna Saranam.
We have prepared a small PowerPoint presentation with some photographs and some details about Maharaj's life that we shall go through. So many of you may not know, but Maharaj was born in a small town of Andhra in Tamil Nadu. But after his secondary school, practically the whole of his life he has spent in North India only, from Nasik, Bombay, and of course then Mayawati for 18 years, and then came to Calcutta, etc., etc. Even many years before, when he was posted as the head of Chennai Center, he expressed his difficulties speaking Tamil because most of the life he hardly stayed in Tamil Nadu. But a great soul, he knew many languages and was very fond of languages actually. I will tell a few things in our day. So, it was in 1950-51, India has just got independence. Maharaj was about 20-21 years old. He was staying in Bombay and doing his diploma in some kind of, at that time, whatever was the commerce called, mercantile or something. So this is one of the, his reminiscences on Swami's writing. Sometimes he used to go for a solitary walk to the Worli beach in Mumbai and spend the time quietly sitting on the huge rocks on the seashore. He would watch the setting sun. One day sitting there, A thought came to his mind, well, these rocks are so big, the sea is so vast, the sky looks infinite. Then what am I? A little speck on the surface of the earth? Why give so much importance to it? Flesh came the answer. It is true that you look like a speck on the surface of the earth, but within you, a great presence is there, which is greater than all this. This thought came forcefully, almost like someone speaking, that from within. This idea, he got fixed in his mind. At that time, he had not even read any scriptures. This, if you ask these stories, many monks have a kind of awakening, a kind of inspiration, has nothing to do with their family tradition or nothing to do with later monastic life or anything. But some ideas from within they inspire. If you ask any of our monks, no one will say that it was my strong vairagya and renunciation that I became a monk. Nobody will say that. We say grace of God, grace of Guru, and there is something which pulls. Otherwise, most of the time, 18, 19, 20 years old boys, even girls, in case of Sardamat nuns, from where that courage comes, it just takes a small bag with no extra clothes and just walks out of the house in search of something. This inspiration, so this is one of the incidents that you find. I remember when Swami, again in Bombay, was studying. Other day I met him, of course, a few days before. He was waiting for a local train on Bombay, one of the VT or somewhere on the platform. He missed the train, so next train, it was 15-20 minutes time was there. So he was looking what to do. Those who are familiar with the Indian railway stations, there used to be, I don't know, still are there, called Sarvodaya Sahitya, a bookstore where good books are sold. You don't get anything that which is not good. So he went to that shop, purchased a small book of Swami Vivekananda, which he doesn't know what to buy. So it was cheapest book available, 1 rupee or something. Standing on the platform, he practically read the whole book because it is a small booklet. In that, he read the great quotation of Swamiji, that those are only people who can be called really living because they live for others. Selfishly living, every animal lives. There is nothing special about anything. And that thought so much strongly came in his mind, right standing and waiting for the train, then he decided to join. So, grace of God comes in many ways. Smaranananda was initiated by Swami Shankaranji, as I told earlier. We had Mantra Diksha in 1952, Brahmachari Diksha in 1956, and Sannyasa in 1960. All this happened before our birth. Most of us were not born at that time. 1958 to 76, Maharaj served at Mayavati and the Calcutta Advaita Ashram, assisting to the editors of Prabhupada Bharata magazine. 1976 to 91, as a head of Sardapit Center, which is just outside the gates of Revered. It's an educational institution, huge institution, many big institutes are there inside. Actually, it is this time that most of us came in contact with Maharaj. Rather, we met him and we got to know him. The problem with the reminiscences, if you want to talk about the great Swami, the problem is that we have to talk about ourselves. That's the problem. That's why I want to refrain from saying many things about. But so many great things happens, and I can't tell you the details. I was in Revered Training Center in 1986 to 88. Maharaj was in Sardapit at that time. So he came to our training center with another Swamiji, and we all brahmacharis went to do pranams to him. The Swami who was with him was named Swami Tattva-Bodhananda. Some of you may have seen him. And when Tattva-Bodhananda was in Allahabad, I had joined under him. So when I did pranam to Smaranananda, Tattva-Bodhananda was very happy in introducing me. Wow, this boy has joined under me in Allahabad. Believe me, till then I have never talked even one sentence with Smaranananda. And Smaranananda answered the Swamiji, "Oh, you are talking about Kamlesh. I know everything about him." I do not know how he said and why he said, though there was a reason, which obviously as I cannot say here. So, very simple Swami. I will tell one or two few things which came across. He was appointed as a trustee of the Ramakrishna Math and a member of the governing body of the Ramakrishna Mission in 1983. In April 1995, he joined the headquarters as an assistant secretary. In 1997, he took charge as the general secretary. And for 10 years he was on this post. So as Satyavrata told that he is here because of him, I am here because of him. So he was general secretary at that time. And I think Maharaj came, Satyavrata came here in 1998, no? 98. I was at Shillong, Meghalaya at that time. When Brahmachari Maharaj came from Belumat and told me, "Maharaj, you know you are posted at Singapore." I do not know. Nobody has told me. No, we heard about it. So maybe my name was also there in his mind at that time. But then the center which is next to Shillong, which is Guwahati, there was a very great Swami. Swami Ijjanandaji was disciple of Swami Vijnanandaji. Some arrangement was there, and Smaranananda asked him that we have to transfer one of your assistants, who was almost left and right and everything to that Swami. So he said, "But then how to run the center?" So Smaranananda promised him, "Whichever monk you want from India, any center, I will make him free from there and bring you to you." The Swami said, "Don't go very far. Just a few kilometers away in Shillong, one Swami is there, just send him here." That Swami also loved me very much. Sometimes this reminiscences I will tell. So I was posted to Guwahati, and then up to 2001 I stayed there, and then I came here. Suddenly letter came that you are posted to Singapore. I never asked, he never asked me. So many people want that quietly I have told or I have written for transfer or something, which really nothing happened like that. I will tell something more about it later. 1991 to 95, he was president of Chennai Math, and he from there only later on he came to the Math. In May 2007, he was elected as a vice president of the order, as a president of the order in July 2017. You know, we have in any institution or organization, somebody has to take some post. It's not important that which post you are. Eventually we are all monks and servants in Ramakrishna. So when Swami, who was very close to him, told him this, "Maharaj, how nice that you have been elevated to the seat of the president of the order." It is almost like appreciating him or something. But here was his answer. He then reacted in his characteristic simplicity. What is there in it? The post of the president fell vacant. I, being the senior most, was chosen by the trustees to fill up this post. So I had to sit there. What is there in it? There are two minds in general. One is the mind of a devotee, one is the mind of a jnani. Those who have a mind of a jnani, not that I am telling they are jnanis, but those who are, that psychology and the philosophy of life is more about jnana. For them, the big thing becomes very small. Anything big you say, it is not in use for them. And there is a bhakta, those who are emotional. One of our senior Swami used to say, Even the minor details become very important. Not that that is wrong or that was right, no. You will find sometimes even monks and devotees, we have this, so we should not have any conflict between this kind of thing. No, if Thakur's cloth is red, the flower doesn't match with that, garland should match with that. One who are little in the jnana side will say, oh, does it matter? Eventually you are going to close your eyes and meditate on it. So both are correct. So one going details into these small things, which is very important for them. Many of you know the story of Dhruva. So Dhruva was Sakama Bhakta, he wanted the kingdom. But while doing that, he became a great devotee and his devotion became Nishkama. So Lord Vishnu appeared to him. So Dhruva is looking at Lord Vishnu and says, excuse me, why your kundala is not moving? These are the stories of our Purana. So Lord Vishnu says, oh, you want to move it? If you want to move it, it will move. Insignificant details become very important in the mind of a devotee. And in the jnani, big things are nothing. Look at that, he was made the highest position in the order, such a great order like Ramakrishna order. He said, what's the big deal about it? Lastly, I met Maharaj in 2019. Similar thing happens in front of me. So I asked the Sevak Swamis whether if I can go closer to him and do pranam. Because before COVID also there is a distance that devotees cannot go closer. So there was a wooden barricade. So devotees will do pranam outside the barricade. Being a monk, maybe came from Singapore or whatever was there, so they told, okay, you go inside the barricade and do pranam. So I did pranam and sat at his feet. 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes went on talking. Then he says to me, with folded hands, he is a president, and says to me, I won't take your time. You come from Singapore, you have many people to see and many works to attend to. I won't take your time. I said, Mom, you are not taking my time, I am taking your time. This humility is something very interesting, that who can see spirituality? Only Sri Ramakrishna could see, or his disciples could see. We don't see spirituality in people. We only see the external behavior. As in Maharaj writing, Shraddhanjali, that on 2nd chapter, Sthitaparika Lakshana, and 14th chapter, Dinanapika Lakshana, his external behavior will show where he stands. So, these are simple things but quite significant. Another thing, when I was sitting at his feet, a devotee came, was sitting outside the barrier, and started praising him. Maharaj, you are president of the order, you are embodiment of Sri Ramakrishna, you are Sri Ramakrishna, this and that. Maharaj immediately folded him and told, don't say like that. There is no difference between me and any other monk of this order. Whatever work I am given to us, we do that work. I am given the work of a president, I do that job. So that was his standpoint, and this I saw in front of my eyes. This photo was taken probably after the monks conference, etc. was done. So Maharaj is sitting right in front of the temple, main temple of Sri Ramakrishna. Probably this was last, not this but previous Shivratri that he offered. This is when Kumar Puja is done during Durga Puja, when the President Maharaj will go and offer flowers at the feet of that small girl, because she is worshipped. I was fortunate to do this Durga Puja for at least 4 times. And 4 times the small girls we have to worship. And we are not habituated otherwise. When we left our home also, there was no small children to feed them or something. And while doing puja, offering flowers is okay. But because she is a living goddess there, so you don't just simply offer the food to them, you rather feed her. So when I was told, hey, give little payasam to her, it was little uncomfortable in the beginning because difficult to immediately across. Let me understand it. And simple thing, those who have seen this Kumari Puja, even the smallest gesture of this girl when she is sitting on the altar is given so much importance. So the Swamis will keep always must keep one hand like this, okay? But poor girl, she had become tired. So this every monk has felt that whenever we visited, as Maharaj told, he was very approachable, very approachable. I remember I was there in Revered for some reason, and some brahmacharis came. Maharaj, we want to go to this place of pilgrimage. If you permit, then nobody can say no, because he was general secretary at that time. Maharaj said, no, you don't fire the gun from my shoulder. Your next immediate boss, whoever Swami is there, take his permission. Don't come to me for these things. But anybody can approach him. Anybody can approach him. This is a time when he is offering flowers at the feet of Smaranananda in Revered temple. So this is a photo we got, so I thought let me put it this way. So, though simple few things about him, but they say, Shraddhanjali says in Revered Chudamani that Kshanamapi Sajjana Sangati Leka Bhavati Bhavarnava Tarane Yoga. If a great soul, even for a short time you meet him, you remember for the whole life. If you see the reminiscences of some about Sri Ramakrishna, they have met Sri Ramakrishna only once. He was not holding any post. There was no external great personality. While speaking, he was stammering. Sri Ramakrishna, it is there in the gospel, I am not telling. But still, when people see him, people met him, there was something which attracts him. Could be his realization, could be his purity, whatever we say. So great people are with fortune you see, as Shraddhanjali again says in Revered Chudamani, that is Mahapurusa Samshraya, or the company of great souls, comes only by the grace of God. Two things, one small thing I said and we do some bhajans. It was 1987, 88. I was in training center, and as I told, he told, I know everything about him. Suddenly, there was a program, Swamiji's 125th anniversary. So big program in Revered. Thousands of devotees are sitting in the audience. Suddenly somebody came and told Smaranananda is calling you. He was looking after the stage, programs and all that. So I went and told, Maharaj, you called me anything? Go to the stage, sing some bhajans. So there are so many brahmacharis who are better singers. I sing, but there are many who are sings really good. Do what I say. And not a single Hindi bhajan, all should be Bengali songs. So that also was a little contradictory. That time, by birth, I'm not Bengali, but he knows that I'm fond of Bengali songs and anyway. So that happened, and I sang for 1 hour on the stage. Why? I do not know. When I came back, obviously our friends or brahmacharis are like that, you see, all making jokes. Wow, you became such a big singer, eh? You have to sing for 1 hour in front of so many people. He never sing even one song. And I do not know. He orders. Small thing, just remembering something, nothing special. That's why I was telling you. Reminiscences means you have to tell about yourself. That's the problem. Maharaj never came here in Singapore as a vice president or president. So he was not initiated in Singapore. But he has visited. Many of us have seen him. So it was Saturday or Sunday when, as usual, we sing bhajans in the temple. So whenever I sing, we try to mix some Tamil, some Hindi, some Bengali, some Sanskrit, all we sing. I didn't know that he's sitting behind. So after bhajans were over, and he knows that, of course, Tamil is not my mother tongue, neither Bengali or Hindi. So when I came down, He smiled at me and said, hey, nice Tamil song, no problem, very good. So, simple things, but it's great. So, they appreciate everything. They don't find fault with you. Even the smallest good quality you have, they will enlarge it as if you are great. We know we are not that great, but he makes it to make you comfortable or to make you confident or to make you encouraged. Our small good things, they will enlarge and appreciate it. So, now I think the song on that day which we had sung, the same two songs we sing now, and then we sing. Close the window for yes. These are two popular Tamil songs which all of us sing. So maybe that day also I would have sang the same which he liked. So we will sing it too. Dwaparatil kannanagi Tretayugatil ramanagi Dwaparatil kannanagi Tretayugatil ramanagi Inda kaliyugatilile Rama Krishna Nam Inda kaliyugatilile Rama Krishna Nam Dwaparatil kannanagi Tretayugatil ramanagi Dwaparatil kannanagi Tretayugatil ramanagi Inda kaliyugatilile Rama Krishna Nam Inda kaliyugatilile Rama Krishna Nam Jaya Rama Krishna endru solluvome nam Jaya Rama Krishna endru solluvome nam Parandidume pavangalellam Parandidume pavangalellam Konidamarai bome Parandidume pavangalellam Konidamarai bome Rama Krishna Nam Rama Krishna Nam Dwaparatil kannanagi Tretayugatil ramanagi Dwaparatil kannanagi Tretayugatil ramanagi Inda kaliyugatilile Rama Krishna Nam Inda kaliyugatilile கைகளிரண்டும் தூக்கி நம்மை அழைக்கின்றார் கைகளிரண்டும் தூக்கி நம்மை அழைக்கின்றார் இதயத்திலே உள்ளார் கடவுள் இதயத்திலே உள்ளார் கடவுள் மனமே நீ द्वापरத்தில் கண்ணனாகி திரேதாயுகத்தில் ராமனாகி द्वापरத்தில் கண்ணனாகி திரேதாயுகத்தில் ராமனாகி இந்த கலியுகத்திலே ராமகிருஷ்ணனா இந்த கலியுகத்திலே தர்மத்தை ஸ்தாபனம் செய்ய நம்மிடம் வாழ்ந்தார். தர்மத்தை ஸ்தாபனம் செய்ய நம்மிடம் வாழ்ந்தார். உயர்ந்திடவே நாம் எல்லோரும் உயர்ந்திடவே நாம் எல்லோரும் அவரை நினைப்போமே. உயர்ந்திடவே நாம் எல்லோரும் அவரை நினைப்போமே. ராமகிருஷ்ணா ராமகிருஷ்ணா द्वापरத்தில் கண்ணனாகி திரேதாயுகத்தில் ராமனாகி द्वापरத்தில் கண்ணனாகி திரேதாயுகத்தில் ராமனாகி இந்த கலியுகத்திலே ராமகிருஷ்ணனா இந்த கலியுகத்திலே ராமகிருஷ்ணனா இந்த கலியுகத்திலே ராமகிருஷ்ணனா. शरणं शरणं रामकृष्णा शारदे रमया रामकृष्णा. शरणं शरणं रामकृष्णा शारदे रमया रामकृष्णा. अन्बिन वरिवे रामकृष्णा தருவாய் ராமகிருஷ்ணா. அன்பின் வடிவே ராமகிருஷ்ணா ஆறுதல் தருவாய் ராமகிருஷ்ணா. இன்னல் தேவாய் ராமகிருஷ்ணா ஈசன் வடிவே ராமகிருஷ்ணா. தேவாய் ராமகிருஷ்ணா ஈசம் வடிவே ராமகிருஷ்ணா. பொருளே ராமகிருஷ்ணா Krishna, Sarade Ramanaya, Rama Krishna. Before we end and sing Ram Krishna Sharanam, if any of you have anything memorable, sweet, good incident about Maharaj to share with you have come across, not that you have read somewhere. If it is there, you can come to the rostrum and speak about it. Since Maharaj did not come to Singapore as a guru to initiate, how many of you are initiated by Maharaj? 1, 2, 3. Okay. 3 of you. So God bless. So we will sing Ram Krishna Sharanam and then we go for Rama Krishna Sharanam, Rama Krishna Sharanam, Rama Krishna Sharanam, Sharane Rama Krishna Sharanam, Rama Krishna Sharanam, Rama Krishna Sharanam, Sharane Prabhu Kripa Hi Kevalam, Kripa Hi Kevalam, Kripa Hi Kevalam, Sharane Prabhu Kripa Hi Kevalam, Kripa Hi Kevalam, Kripa Hi Kevalam, Sharane Jai Jai Rama Krishna Sharanam, Rama Krishna Sharanam, Rama Krishna Sharanam, Sharane Jai Jai Rama Krishna Sharanam, Rama Krishna Sharanam, Rama Krishna Sharanam, Sharanagatoham, 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 Sharane Prabhu Sharanagatoham, 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 Sharane Jai Jai Rama Krishna Sharanam, Rama Krishna Sharanam, Rama Krishna Sharanam, Sharane Jai Jai Rama Krishna Sharanam, Rama Krishna Sharanam, Rama Krishna Sharanam, Namo Shri Gurave, Namo Shri Gurave, Namo Shri Gurave, Namo Namah, Namo Shri Gurave, Namo Shri Gurave, Namo Shri Gurave, Namo Namah. Jai Jai Rama Krishna Sharanam, Rama Krishna Sharanam, Rama Krishna Sharanam, Sharane Jai Jai Rama Krishna Sharanam, Rama Krishna Sharanam, Rama Krishna Sharanam, Rama Krishna, Rama Krishna, Jaya Jaya Rama Krishna, 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 Rama Krishna Sharanam, Rama Krishna Sharanam, Rama Krishna Sharanam, Sharane Jai Jai Rama Krishna Sharanam, Rama Krishna Sharanam, Rama Krishna Sharanam, Sharane. Jai Shri Guru Maharaj Ji ki Jai. Jai Shri Mahamai ki Jai. Jai Shri Swami Ji Maharaj Ji ki Jai. Jai Shri Swami Smaranananda Maharaj Ji ki Jai. Oh, 5 minutes, huh? We have little time there, 5 minutes to be prepared for lunch. As just I was telling that those who are the nature of a jnani, a big thing becomes small to them. On a very, very lighter note, which happened right in front of my office when Smaranananda had come, he had a very good sense of humor. And he will make fun of his own name. So some topic came and we were telling how people mispronounce our names. So many names are there. Many names people just mispronounce. So I told the Maharaj when I was in Guwahati and Assam and all that. So sometimes people don't know Sanskrit. So one boy was introducing me to his mother and told that Swami's name is Samaj Chintananda, one who thinks about the society. Samaj Chintananda. I said, no, it is not Samaj Chintananda. So Smaranananda immediately told, hey, your name is still better, Samaj Chinta. You are thinking about so my name was mispronounced Swami Maranananda. So people do mispronounce our names. Many times we have seen the VIPs come. The Swami is sitting right in front, his name is written on the paper, but they just mispronounce. So, just what simple thing is remember about Maharaj. And this thing I can share, though it is about me. You know, English is not our mother tongue. So, whatever English we speak, some speak better English, some do not speak that good. So, sometimes we did mistakes. So, in our Jnana Yoga class, he had a habit to tell, okay, you read page number 27, you read. Then we read one paragraph, then he will explain, okay, now you read. So that was his way of conducting the class. So one day my turn came and he told me to read. So there are some words which you write the same, but pronunciations are different. If you consider, for example, R-E-A-D, to read. Past tense spelling is the same, but you say read. It is not read. While reading the book Jnana Yoga, I pronounced the word infinite. So he didn't laugh at me, but he, in his simple way, he told, I think the pronunciation is infinite, no? It is not infinite. It is finite, but it should be infinite. I said, okay, lesson learned immediately. So, simple thing, but he will not mind in correcting. Though it is very simple, and there was no feeling of course he is a great man, this feeling definitely is not very deep. But it's not question of belittling, but it is a pure way of correcting. The earlier word which I remember, there is one Swamiji whom you see Advaita Ashrama website, if you go, he gives lectures, Swami Pitambarananji. I remember, you see in India, 35-40 years, the cycle rickshaw used to be there. So I was going to see off Pitambarananji to the railway station. So we were sitting on the cycle rickshaw, and that fellow is pulling the cycle rickshaw. Of course, poor man, whole day physically working, so he is perspiring. And because of perspiring, of course, body odor is there. Pitambaranji told me, uncomfortable. So yeah, it's a bit bad smell. So he said, think of that. Just because of body odor, people feel uncomfortable. What about if somebody's mind is rotten? How much discomfort people will be feeling around him? Every Swami has his own way of looking at the thing. To sing Pitambaranji, I did the mistake of read and read. I had just joined at that time. And though we studied at that time, but there was no scope for me to speak English to anyone. So I never spoke it. Thank you and sorry were the two words which I knew. So I told him, yeah, I have read that book. So he said, say again? He says, I have read. So he said, say again. I said, Maharaj, it is a simple word. That much English you should know. Except whether it is not read, it should be read in the past tense. So it is a simple thing, but there is absolutely no pretension from any side. So it's a simple thing, but no harm in getting corrected at any age. And we all learn the lessons. Please tell us when you are ready. Maharaj was in Bombay as a brahmachari, and he never said he is a singer. But most of our Swamis can do Khandana, Arati song, because when people start singing Arati, nobody hears your harmonium. So harmonium, any mistake is there, is covered. So he says that in many ashrama it is there, whether you know it or not. Hey, Monday it is your duty, Tuesday it is your duty, Thursday it is your duty. But Maharaj, I don't know, it doesn't matter you know or not, you go and conduct Arati. So you somehow find the keys, what it is, and somebody will tell this sa and pa, just press the button is enough. So there was a great tabla player called Nikhil Banerjee, many years before. So he came to Bombay Ashram and told the senior Swamiji, can I play tabla during the Arati? I said, oh, you are a world famous tableist, you play. And Smaranananda was supposed to sing the Khandana Bhavana Arati that he himself has told us. So he said, I do not know harmonium, so my throat also is not in tune, but I sing. So later people told him, Maharaj, why don't you sing? He said, I don't sing with ordinary tablists. Only if Nikhil Banerjee plays tabla, then only I sing. So very simple time, very approachable, but a great human being and a great spiritual master. Thank you very much.